How much do you actually need to retire? It's the question everyone asks, and almost nobody gets a straight answer to. People panic about needing £1 million, but the honest answer is usually a lot less scary, and it starts with a different question entirely. Not how big a pot, but how much do I want to live on each year? Get that right, and the pot looks after itself. Let's do the real maths in plain English in under 4 minutes. There's an official benchmark for this from the Pensions and Lifetime Savings Association, and it splits retirement into 3 levels. For a single person, a minimum lifestyle, covering the basics, but no car, needs about £13,400 a year. A moderate lifestyle, a 2-week holiday, eating out, a bit of comfort, around £31,700. And a comfortable one, newer car, long-haul trips, about £43,900 a year. Pick the life you actually want. That number is your real target. Here's the part people forget, and it's good news. You don't have to fund all of that yourself because the state pension does a big chunk of the heavy lifting. The full new state pension is now worth about £12,500 a year. And for a couple, that's 2 of them. So before you've saved a single penny privately, there's already a floor under you. The question isn't, how do I fund my whole retirement? It's how do I fund the gap? So here's the simple sum. Take your target, let's say the moderate £31,700 for one person. Subtract the state pension, around £12,500. That leaves a gap of roughly £19,000 a year that your own savings need to cover. That gap is the real number you're working towards. And it's a far smaller, far less terrifying figure than the headlines about needing £1 million. Now we just turn that yearly gap into a pot. There's a rough rule of thumb for that. To safely draw an income from a pot for life, you multiply the yearly amount you need by somewhere between 25 and 33. So that £19,000 gap, times around 30, lands near 550,000. That sounds like a lot. But remember, that's the pot for a fairly comfortable moderate lifestyle, built over a whole working life, much of it from employer contributions and growth, not just your own money. Aim at minimum instead, and the pot needed is dramatically smaller. It scales to the life you choose, and here's why you shouldn't panic. The single biggest lever isn't how much you earn, it's time. Money invested for decades grows on itself, so starting earlier does far more heavy lifting than saving harder later. Grab every penny of employer pension match along the way. That's free money on top. Which means the most powerful thing most people can do isn't finding a spare million. It's starting today with whatever you've got and letting time do the work. So, how much do you need? Decide the yearly life you want, minimum, moderate, or comfortable. Subtract the state pension, multiply the gap by around 30 for a rough pot. That's it. A target that scales to you, not a scary headline number. If that finally made retirement make sense, subscribe.